Earl Father Hines there from the collection Earl Hines Live at the New School. And that's I've Got the World on a String, and standing by on the telephone live from Blues Alley, we have no one other than Earl Father Hines live and in person. Earl Hines, welcome to Jazz Plus.
Thank you, yeah. It's always a pleasure to belong to.
Standing by and on the telephone live is Eddie Cleanhead Vincent himself. Welcome to Jazz Plus, Your Honor.
Oh, I want to thank you very much, my man. It's a pleasure. It's really a
Ladies
pleasure.
and gentlemen, as we promised, we are having the master guitarist, let's say, of the century, Charlie Bird, on our show. Welcome to Jazz Weekend, Charlie.
Thank you, Yale.
And in the studio with me, as we tape this afternoon, is Dr. Billy Taylor. Billy Taylor, welcome to Jazz Plus.
Thank you, Yale. It's nice to be here.
Jazz Plus is dedicated tonight here at WETA Radio to John Burks Gillespie.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I know you have a very busy schedule, Burks, so...
We're talking to Errol Garner, piano stylist, great American jazz composer, and what have you. Welcome, Errol.
Well, I'm real glad to be here with you, partner. I ain't seen you in so long, but it's like home week.
That's exactly what it's all about. I'm going to say peace and love. God bless you, and I'm glad we can have you on board. Jimmy McGriff, say goodbye to the folks at PM.
Goodbye.
And Richard Groove Holmes, goodbye to the folks on PM.
Bye.
This has been Yale Lewis with On the Scene for Jazz and On the Jazz Scene for PM.
One big defining moment in his life came when he was about 10 years old, when he met three great men. One was Duke Ellington, one was James P. Johnson, and the other one was Paul Robeson. And he actually received a voice lesson from Paul Robeson. And this is, headed him down the path of music and especially jazz. Although he was also very much interested in European classical music, sang it from time to time, and knew a lot about European classical music, but he always called jazz America's classical music, and he wanted it treated with the same respect as European classical music is treated.
I met Yale in 1974 when I returned back to Washington, D.C. from Poughkeepsie, New York. So we formed a band. We did a recording in 1973, which came out as an album, an LP in 1974. So when I moved back to Washington, Rusty Hassan, who I'd known for quite a while, even before I went to New York, was helping me to kind of promo my new LP. First person he took me to see was Ron Sutton of Big Red up at Howard University, WHUR. And he said, we need to go see the Ebony Godfather. And I didn't know who he was talking about. It turned out to be Yale Lewis. As soon as I came into the station, we sat down, and that's the first time I'd ever seen him. Made me feel relaxed right away. He had that air about him, he could make you feel just very relaxed. Never met a stranger. It's like he knew you all along.
My dear friend Yale Lewis was a true patriot of American classical music. He loved it. He pushed it in every way he could, educationally, financially. He attended, and I was fortunate enough to be invited to many, many clubs, concerts. I met hundreds of internationally and nationally known musicians: Dizzy Gillespie, James Moody, Horace Silver, Duke Ellington, the Modern Jazz Quartet, and the list goes on and on and on.
Jazz is a high art, and in order for this music to have survived all these years, we had some people who kept the flame going. And Yale was one of the people who really kept this flame going throughout the years that he was in Washington, D.C. Well, first of all, you have a precious collection This collection can be used by people that are doing research. If anybody wants to do research on Art Blakey, they can go to Virginia State and look at their archives. And if they want to like hear music and things like that, they have all these precious recordings. And these recordings are not, you can't go to the store and buy them. You know, and I think that Virginia State should be applauded for agreeing to house these materials on their campus, you know. I wish there were more schools that would be willing to archive treasures by black artists around the world.